Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Dan the World Traveler. I say again, Dan the World Traveler. This video is being made October 2025. I just got back a week ago from a wonderful trip in Europe. I met up with a friend, and we usually when I go overseas on my vacations I usually go by myself and just stay in hostels on the cheap and do everything cheap and take buses everywhere. This time was different. I met a friend overseas, and we rented a car. Well, he rented it, and I helped him out financially. Um, and we just kind of drove around some countries in Europe together. I met him up in Italy. We went to uh, Slovenia, Croatia, up to Slovenia again, and then through Hungary, and then through Slovakia, and then the Czech Republic, and then back down to Slovakia. And it was a fun time. We Today I want to talk to you about Croatia specifically. I'll talk about the other countries in other videos, but today my focus is Croatia. But Croatia, it's not a very big country. About, I would say, approximately half the size of Indiana. It's got about 20. I could be wrong about this. 21,000 square miles, and Indiana's 36,000 square miles. So it's significantly maybe half the size of Indiana. Is the way you can think about Croatia. Not a very big country. I did not go to Zagreb, the capital city, but I did go to a place called Rovinj. It's on the coast of Croatia. It's got about 12,000 people approximately. These are all approximations. These are not exact numbers. About 12,000 residents in Rovinj, and I'm sure fluctuates during tourist season. And they get a lot of tourists. The Croatian on the Adriatic Sea there, it's called the Adriatic Sea, is the coast of is on the coast of Croatia. It's just across from Italy, and it's quite a few. You're gonna, if you walk around Rovinj during tourist season, or any time of year, you're gonna hear American accents, Americans talking English, and British people and people from other parts of Europe. They kind of swell to Croatia. It's become some people once upon a time said that Croatia was the best kept secret in Europe. I don't think it's a secret anymore. I think the secret is out. People are coming to Rovinj to have a good time and move there permanently. I met a few Americans that moved to Croatia permanently, bought a house there for a fraction of what they would pay for a house in America, in the United States of America, that is. But Rovinj was Rovinj. That's Rovinj. I think it's spelled. It's this little town on the coast of Croatia. It was a good time. Very big boating community. Lots of boats in the Adriatic Sea there that belong to the residents or to other tourists. You go to a coffee shop in Rovinj, you'll pay a handsome amount of money because it's a tourist area. So just be ready for that if you ever go to Rovinj. But the rest I'm not an expert on the rest of Croatia. I only kind of went to Rovinj and Pula. Pula is another town on a little more south on the coast of Croatia. It's got what looks to be like a Roman Colosseum. Of course, it's not the Roman Colosseum, but it's one of them because the Roman Empire at one time had control over a lot of that area in Croatia. From what I hear, I'm not an expert. I'm not a history expert. I could be wrong about this, but the Roman Empire was, Croatia was part of the Roman Empire, and there's evidence of that. But a little bit about Croatia, or just that part of Europe in general. If you drive around with a rental car, I found this out for the first time. I usually don't rent a car, or I'm not with anybody who's renting a car. I usually go around Europe on a bus, or do it on the cheap. But if you go to Europe and you rent a car, be ready to pay for what's known as vignettes. Now, Italy and Croatia don't have a vignette, but you just pay a toll road when you're driving on their roads, their major roads. You just pay a toll. But places like Czech Republic, Slovenia, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, if you're driving through those countries, be ready to go online and pay a €15 or €20 fee for a vignette to for approximately a week. I could be wrong about these numbers, but if you don't buy the vignette, it could be hot water for you. You could be paying potentially a €500 penalty for not having a proper vignette. But you go on the website, the country's website, and I think I'm not an authority on how this works out. This is all what I think. But you go on there and you buy the vignette. It's tied to your license plate of your rental car or whatever car you're driving, and then they track you somehow, some way. I'm not an expert on this, but anyway, vignettes. Read up on it if you travel to Europe or anywhere and rent a car. be ready for that. Be ready to pay that fee. But they're on the euro, like a lot of places in Europe. And by the way, if you go to Croatia, I have a word for you. It's called vala or fala. I think it's pronounced vala. That's the word for thank you. Whenever I go to a foreign country, I always at least learn how to say thank you in their language. And I'm not going to sit there and get fluent in their language. No, that's not practical. You don't have time for that. But I at least try to learn one word in the language of the place where I'm going to, sort of, even if the people speak perfect English or really good English, out of politeness, I learn how to say at least one word. And the word I chose for Croatia was vala, thank you. Probably because it's an easy word to know. But it was part, Croatia is part of the former Yugoslavia, so there's a lot of, history of communism there. I think Yugoslavia, if I know my history correctly, I could be wrong about this, but they, Yugoslavia kind of did their own thing, not necessarily following everything that the Soviet Union did. But I'm not a history major. I could be wrong about that, but definitely it was part of the former Yugoslavia. And so there's that history there, but anyway, there's that history there with Yugoslavia. But anyway, if you go to Croatia, you'll have a great time. Just have an open mind and talk to people. They'll be happy to talk to you, and they enjoy learning about their culture. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Croatia. I was there for a couple of days. Be ready for. I may have said this yet, maybe I didn't, but be ready for high prices if you visit one of their coastal towns. Like, go get a cup of coffee and something or another, you'll pay a heavier price than maybe you thought you would pay. Anyway, Croatia was a great, very fun time, and I'm glad I was there. And hope if you go, enjoy yourself. Okay, Croatia, Dan the World Traveler. Have a good day. Bye now.